folks, welcome to the channel, and I try to keep the channel balanced in terms of preparedness, right? Covering a number of topics from self-defense to putting together survival kits and bug-out bags, and what's happening in terms of politics, what's happening in terms of the economy, what's happening in the United States, what's happening in Europe. I do this in my English channel, I do this in my Spanish channel, and always try to be as objective as possible. Sometimes people think that but you're attacking this guy, or you're attacking Trump, or you're attacking the president of wherever. It's not that. It's just that things are bad in general, no matter where you look. And that's one of the topics that I want to address in this video. As always, folks, if you want to learn more about realistic survival and preparedness, this is what I've been doing for a long time, especially in the economic aspect of preparedness. I have this book right here, Surviving the Economic Collapse, as well as Survival Skills. A ton of information that will help you get much better prepared for the times in which we're already living in and the ones to come. I did address the issue of inflation, of rising prices in the United States. A lot of this has to do with the tariffs, which, as I explained, these are import taxes. It's already affecting. I was just watching a video of a channel that does EDC stuff. He was super mad about the increase in prices of Leatherman tools, and not only going up in price, but also no more holster, no more accessories, no more nothing. And he was, dude, you're making this, you're going from $60 to $80, or from 100 to 120, and you're taking away stuff. And he called Leatherman, and Leatherman said, this is made in US, but this is made in China, and now I have to pay more. So I'm not bringing it anymore. I'm not including it anymore. So it goes up in price. This is just a small example of what's happening. But what's even worse is what's happening on some of the things you really have no choice. You have no choice in terms of healthcare. You probably have not much of a choice in terms of education. If you have a kid, you have to find ways of providing for that child's well-being, healthcare, clothing, food, education, safety, housing. And that's the topic of this video. How much is it that housing has gone up? Because I was reading some of the comments from people in their 60s and their 70s. Well, back in our day, you just have to raise yourself from your bootstraps. And it's really not all that simple. Check this out.
The real reason why millennials cannot afford houses is that despite housing prices quadrupling over the last 20 years, the median income adjusted for inflation remains exactly the same. So every boomer and Generation Z that tells you to suck it up is full of crap, because they were making the same money you were and paying 400% less for their house. The real reason why millennials cannot...
So that's a stat. It's not, but I live in my neck of the woods. You can still buy a nice house for a bunch of eggs and a nice chicken. Yeah, still, in average, the price of a house has quadrupled. It's 4 times more expensive now, right? Back in the day, only the husband needed to work. You could be a stay-at-home mom. That is, you understand, these are all things that are gone now. Now it's both in the couple working all day long, and whoever hell watches after kids these days, who knows. But this is a real thing. And it's not just in the United States. This is a global phenomenon. I was just checking, and it's very interesting to notice. This is like from Europe, European average, 48%. You know how much houses have gone up in the United States in the last 10 years? Same thing, 40 to 48%. Right? And again, in Europe, you will have these things of, and it's true that some countries like were super affordable, and then you see a huge increase, like going up 111%, Czech Republic, right? Or in Estonia. And other places, it was already more expensive, so the price didn't go up all that much. But this is something that is happening all over the world. Yeah, sure, you can. Italy, like 8%, that's pretty solid, that's pretty good. You want to move to Italy, apparently it's not all that expensive. And again, I do get it that in every single place you look, you find places where it's more affordable. Hell, you have places for people that think, but in my place here in US, the houses are very cheap. There's places in Italy, in Switzerland, in Spain. There's places in pretty much any country in Europe you can look at where they give away houses for free. The same thing happens in Japan. The thing is, those houses happen to be in the place where there's no jobs, where there's no school, where there's no hospital. These are like ghost towns in US where who the hell wants to live? These are places that people are leaving because there's nothing for them in the first place. Now, it is true that there's a phenomenon going on as well because of remote work and whatnot. That is one of the key differences between this and what you had in the US. In US, unless you have like Starlink or something like that, you don't have the kind of internet that you have pretty much all over Europe in fast speed internet and fiber internet. That's much faster, right? Even compared to Starlink. So it is possible, but it's a little bit more challenging. But I want to go back to this idea of, yeah, back in the old days, it was, we used to do it, yes, but the world keeps changing, and it's changing in a way in which you're squeezed out of options. Your money doesn't go as far as it did before. It doesn't go as far as it did in the groceries. It doesn't go as far as it did when it comes to a stay-at-home mom. It does not come as far for sure when it comes to housing. So all things to keep in mind. Guys, this is happening now. I'm more sure day by day as years go by. This is happening all over the world. What we saw in Argentina with with the dramatic economic collapse thing, this is a way in which you transfer wealth from everyone into a small select group of people. Call it the elite, call it the greedy bastards, whatever you want to call it. But it's intentional, it's happening, and if you're not preparing, you will be caught in a very bad position. Okay? Folks, see you next time. Take care.